welcome to the Razor's Edge.
Thank you. Nice to be here.
So we've had 18 months pretty much in isolation. Have you guys come out of that all right?
Yeah, I think so. I think it's been you can't really you can't really do anything about it, so you just kind of have to accept it. So we did the best out of it, and really ready now to start playing again, and probably become like a tighter squad, like a band, because of the isolation, because we did hang a lot together, us and our sound guy and crew. So I think we probably became closer because of the isolation. So that is at least a kind of a silver lining, I guess.
Yeah, that's good to hear. So I've personally been a massive fan of you guys since the first album, Divide and Conquer, and it was back then that I first heard the term stoner punk. So to anyone who hasn't heard you guys, how would you explain stoner punk as a style of music?
Well, we kind of just, that was always the mantra from the beginning. Try to take something like the groove and some of the riff from the stoner sludge world, and then combine it with punk rock and hardcore. And that was kind of what we set out to do. And then we just decided to call it stoner punk because we thought that was a fitting term. Also, we have, always incorporated other stuff as well. Like there are metal riffs there, the more classic rock and stuff, but we kind of just feel that the stoner punk moniker is a good one, because we are neither stoner rock, we're neither punk rock, we're just a blend of everything. And a lot of people get they get hung up on the name, so they're like they just read the part they like, so they're like, well, this isn't stoner, and we're like, no, we never said. We said stoner punk. And the other half is kind of like, this isn't punk. Like, no, it's stoner punk. So it's apparently a bit confusing for people. I thought it would be easier, like that we just said, some stoners and punk and something else. But apparently they just read what they want.
Yeah, well, it makes sense to me, and I think it fits perfectly with the music you produce.
No, I also think that like the people that really appreciate what we do, they are the type of people that understand it and really have a love for different genres in rock. They like metal, they like punk, they like rock. But if people who, for example, only like early heavy metal, or maybe only like skate punk, will not necessarily understand, because there's a lot of references to other genres.
Yeah, I get that. So a little over a year after you released Divide and Conquer, Lars Ulrich came out publicly stating how good the album was. So where were you, and how did you react when you heard that Lars was saying those things about the album?
Yeah, I was at home. I was watching Game of Thrones, I think. And then we had to stop everything we did just to listen to that radio show, since we got mentioned. And it was completely insane, completely surrealistic. And it really helped. I think probably, like, I guess maybe 80% of people who know who we are know because of him. So we're really grateful for that.
Yeah. And did you see straight after that? Did you see a notable upsurge in interest in the band?
Yeah. I remember a lot of our songs came suddenly appeared on, like, I don't know, Spotify Viral or something like that in Norway. So a lot of people apparently had checked out the band after he said that. And when I came to work, the day after he said it, everybody was like, "What the fuck?" So apparently people noticed, which was cool. And we got a lot of texts of people that have been like, I never really checked you guys out. I heard the name, but I never really listened. Now I listen, I'm a fan. So that's cool that it had that effect, that people actually, pressed play on the song, because that's probably the hardest thing about being in a band, I think, to get people to actually check out your music or reach them, especially these days when you can't tour.
Yeah, and obviously it helps when someone like Lars gives you that mention. It gets eyes on you, doesn't it?
Yeah, absolutely.
So not long after that, obviously you ended up on tour with Metallica in a European stadium-wide tour. How did they approach you about joining them on tour?
No, they just they called us. That was basically it. They called us and asked us if we wanted to be a part of the European tour and in UK and Russia, and we of course said yes, like instantly.
Yeah, and obviously you did more dates than that, because I think I saw you in Barcelona as well. So you did more than just the UK and Russia dates, didn't you?
Yeah, no, we did the whole tour, whole of Europe, whole UK and Russia. So we did, the whole leg of their whole 2019 in Europe tour. So we did 25 dates, which was excellent.
Yeah, and that's a huge jump from releasing a debut album to going on a stadium tour before you've released that second album. So.
yeah, it's insane. I don't think anyone, I don't think I know for a fact none of us ever thought, that something like that was possible. But I don't think anybody goes around in these days dreaming about playing stadiums. That's kind of a thing of the past, unless you are Metallica, Maiden, or Guns N' Roses. I don't think anybody thinks of that. So it was a really surrealistic experience, and something I'm really glad that happened in 2019 and not in 2020.
Oh, absolutely. Did you learn anything from that experience?
I think we got better by just playing that much shows in after each other, and also just watching both Ghost and Metallica. I think kind of subconsciously affected us. I think you don't necessarily know like that you get like tips or something like that, but I think that just by watching them and see how they move, that you kind of learn, even if you're not aware of it, if that makes sense.
It does, yeah. So moving on to the present day then, you release Molotov Rocktail, your third album, in a few days. Is this a result of pandemic isolation, this album?
No, it was written before. Everything is always ready before we go into the studio, so it was written. It was recorded in the pandemic isolation, but there's not a song about that or something like that. So It's not a reaction. It was already finished.
Fair enough, and it's a fantastic album. I've had it on all week. The sound seems to have developed a little. I don't want to say it's more commercial, but more user friendly, maybe, but still retaining that unmistakable Bokassa feel.
Yeah, I think it's a natural evolution, and I also I felt kind of like Divide and Conquer and Crimson Riders are fairly similar albums. So I kind of felt, why I don't need to write Walker Texas Danger or Last Night Was a Real Massacre, because they're already out there.
Yeah.
So I kind of try to write something that we didn't have before, and also I guess there's a natural progression in the songwriting, and also included some more things. It's probably a more melodic, catchy record, and there's different reasons for that. One of them is that I kind of really felt that we needed some of those songs for the live set, to mix it up, to get more dynamic. And I really wanted to have some of those songs to play. And the other part is the fact that we tuned down to C, because when we did the European tour in December 2019, it was getting really hard to sing, night after night, and some of those songs which go a bit higher in the pitch, I was feeling that I didn't really nail them perfectly. So we started tuning down, and as we tuned down, it was much easier to scream and to sing. And then also, I think that kind of also did that, the fact that the writing came easier, because it was much more easy to write melodies when you don't have to, fuck up your voice.
So Molotov Rocktail will be the first album that you've released with Napalm Records, and that's a big move, a big label. When did they start showing interest in you?
I think we actually talked to Napalm back in in 2018, if I'm not mistaken. So they have been following us for a long time. At that point, we felt we didn't want to do that leap because we want to do it when we felt it was natural, and since they were still interested after the whole Metallica thing, because I think it's not a surprise that people are interested in your band when you are supporting the biggest band in the world. But if they're still around, after that is over, then I for one think about that as like that. Then that's a real interest. That is just not. It's just not because of that they actually like the band. So we kind of felt that it was right to try something new. Because on the second album as well, we did it at like a joint venture with a British label. Means but we did like a lot of stuff on our own, and we always kind of did that. So we tried. We thought this time maybe to reach a bigger audience, we should try to go to a bigger label, and so far so good.
Brilliant. Was there any other labels interested, or was it purely Napalm that were focused on you?
No, we had chats with a lot of others, but we, also like, Napalm felt kind of right, and also like for example, Monster Magnet is on there. Yeah, they got a lot of different genres on that label, which we thought was cool, and also the fact that they had Monster Magnet, which we all are a huge fan of, I think was kind of I think we were really excited to be on the same label as Monster Magnet, I guess.
Fair enough. so with Napalm behind you, has that helped the production of this new album?
No, because the album was finished before that.
Oh, right.
That's what we always done. The albums have always been finished, and then we have kind of sent them around. So we never actually have recorded an album with a record deal. We kind of prefer to just do it ourselves, and when it's finished, then we can go to like a label and say, hey, this is what we got, you interested? Because that way we own the masters and everything.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, it keeps it all in house for you, doesn't it? That's the
and no one can come up to us and say stuff like, actually, we think you should maybe write kind of this way, because when we deliver it, it's already finished. So no one has anything to say. I don't know if that is a thing these days, but you always read about, all these major labels apparently in the 90s trying to affect bands and stuff. I don't know if that's a thing or all. It's never been a thing for us since the albums always are finished anyway.
Okay, so as reviews come out for the album, do you pay any attention to what the press says about it?
Yeah. I think it's fun to read the reviews. There's like I know I know where we're going to get good reviews and know where we're not going to, and I think it's kind of like I said, I think it's a thing with if it's like a kind of a magazine that also that has like a or an online stuff or anything that has kind of like you can see that they like Turnstile, they like No Effects, they also like Clutch or Entombed. If I see that that kind of a diverse thing, then I know they're going to probably like us. But if it's one of those that is just like we just do heavy metal kind of magazines, then I know they're not going to get it. so I pay attention, at least on what it's in English.
Yeah,
because then I understand it.
So you've got a UK and Europe tour booked for October. What can we expect from you guys when you headline the UK for the first full UK tour, isn't it?
Yeah, it's the first full since 2019. Yeah. So no, I think we can expect a longer show as we have more material. You can expect a lot of songs from Molotov Rocktail. At the moment, we have rehearsed, I think, 8 of them in the set, and I think you can expect like quite a band that is really ready to play live and hasn't done it in a long time. As with all bands.
Yeah.
So I think those shows will be fantastic. I also think we are a better band now, because after kind of everything shut down, we got a lot of time to kind of look at the set, look at the playing, look at everything, and I think we became better because of it, because we have pretty much rehearsed since then. so yeah, I think it's going to be great.
Brilliant, and I'm really looking forward to it and seeing you in those smaller venues. I've only ever seen you twice in stadiums, so to see you in that smaller venue, and I'll be seeing you in Wolverhampton at Kk's, and I'm really looking forward to that.
Awesome. Yeah. Regarding that, is that KK Downing? Is it he who runs that, or it's just a name?
It's he doesn't own it. He's lent his name to it, and he is always there. So
okay,
there's a good possibility he would be there when you play.
Awesome. Yeah, because we were thinking about that the other day, because we were like, it's called Kk's Steel, and we were like, yeah, maybe he's the guy who, maybe it's named after him. But okay, then I know. yeah.
It's my local venue, so I'm there all the time, and I have met KK numerous times there. So he is there all the time.
Very cool.
Yeah. So back talking about the tour. You've got in the UK, especially Florence Black supporting, great live band, and I think they're perfectly suited to you guys. Do you get to choose those support bands for your tour?
Yeah. We kind of our agent kind of provides us with a list, and then we listen to what we like. And what we think can be a good match for the band, for the audience. And we thought that of Florence Black. We thought that because they are kind of more like kind of the Danko Jones type of rock thing.
Yeah.
And I think that a lot of people that comes to see us probably likes that, really are really into like that kind of hard rock. So I think it could be a really cool mix. So you get something for everyone.
Absolutely. I love Florence Black, and they do a better cover of Bread Fan than Metallica do.
Oh, nice.
So following on from your tour, what are your plans for 2022? Where do you go next as a band?
Plans for 2022 is more Norwegian dates. We're going to announce some in September, and then when we're in the summer, we're gonna do some more touring, and then some festivals and some other stuff. So we're kind of just really, we're just really hoping everything will happen. And I think in 2022 things will be quite fine. So we're just gonna tour the record, and then afterwards, I guess we have to see when the next one is going to come out.
Excellent. So before we finish today, for those who don't know you, where can people find you on social media and on the internet?
Yeah, Bokassa Band on Instagram. We're called Bokassa Band on Twitter, Bokassa Band on Facebook. I guess that's where we're at. We also have our homepage, bokassaband.com, which actually is like that was a thing that also happened during lockdown, because we had like a really crappy homepage, and at a certain point, I was like, people aren't on Facebook anymore, so at a certain point, I think there will be kind of like that people stop using Facebook or something like that. So I thought maybe we could have a good web page. So I actually sat down and kind of learn those, how to do it, make it look a bit better. So actually now we got an updated update the webpage, which is old school.
back to the late 90s, early 2000s, having a website instead of Facebook, isn't it?
Yeah, but it looks really professional now, because you have a menu and you can see all our videos and you can buy the merch and tour. So really happy that hopefully people start using web pages again.
Brilliant. So it's been a pleasure talking to you today. Thanks so much for your time.
Likewise, man. It was awesome.
Thank you. Thanks for listening. Make sure you keep up to date with future episodes by subscribing to our channels. For more information on this podcast, or for all the latest music news, reviews, interviews and more, head over to our website www.therazorsedge.rocks.